YouTube World back at it once again, Instant Classic 8. Here to give quick thoughts on tonight's AEW pay-per-view All Out 2020. Um, Personally, this was their second worst pay-per-view. Just, depending on how I feel the next couple of days, this could be their worst pay-per-view. I didn't think this was a great show personally. I didn't think it was bad, but there were a lot of things on this show that I just was not a fan of, and things just seemed off pretty much all night. This was, their last show, Double or Nothing, was the one they had in front of no crowd, and this one they actually had a small crowd. I think they had 15% people in there, and I think what happened with them was the same thing that we saw at Fight for the Fallen, which was last year, was that Jacksonville humidity just wore the crowd out. That on top of the fans having to wear the mask and their voices and everything being blocked, I think it just made for a weird atmosphere. The fans were hyped at definitely sometimes for sure. You could definitely hear them even like later on during the show, which I was surprised by. You could hear them, but for the most part, like I said, I feel like they were just a little bit worn out. And honestly, I mean, this show started at 7, I think, and it went all the way till just a little bit before midnight. So a very long show. You got a long time for people sitting there. I don't know if this is something they could, you know, I understand you wanted to give the fans their money's worth, $50 and whatnot, but you definitely want to think about the experience as well. Like if this show was cut down by like an hour, I think it would probably been a little bit better in my opinion, and maybe like the fans in attendance would probably have acted a little bit stronger. They may have been a little bit hot for that show, but either way, again, I didn't think this was a great show, but it definitely wasn't bad. I don't want to go over every single match, but it opened with Brit Baker versus Big Swole. This is a match I've been looking forward to for a while now, but I didn't know until just this past week that it was going to be a cinematic style match. They did this match inside of Brit's dental office, which I thought was a really cool touch. The match itself wasn't anything. I mean, again, cinematic match. At first this was supposed to be on the pre-show, the buy-in, which honestly, this type of match would have fit the buy-in completely well, and I probably would have enjoyed it more if it was there. But this was the opener to this pay-per-view, and I just didn't think it fit. I'm glad they got it out of the way. Big Swole ended up winning. Again, glad they got it out of the way, but I just wasn't a fan of that. Young Bucks versus the Jurassic Express. The winner would go on to get a tag title match. The Young Bucks ended up winning this match. I thought this was probably one of the better matches of the night. I just felt like these two teams worked really well together. A couple sloppy spots here and there, but I thought they worked really well together. Jungle Boy looked amazing. Even though he took the pin, I thought he looked really, really good. And the Young Bucks, obviously they're showing a little bit more aggression after the Hangman split up, and then we've seen some stuff with the Elite and everything, and maybe just the turning heel or whatnot. I've even seen a small little detail, but when the Young Bucks, and even later on when Omega, when they're leaving, when they come out for the match, they come through the babyface entrance, but when they leave, they go through the heel entrance, and I kind of found that to be a little bit interesting. But again, I thought this was a good match. Young Bucks ended up winning. They get a tag title match down the road. The Casino Battle Royale, it's every Battle Royale, pick and choose, how you want them. I didn't think this was bad at all. Obviously, it's, overbooked, but that's how Battle Royales are. It was really cool to see Will Hobbs in there. Give props to Will Hobbs. He was out there and he eliminated. God, I forgot who he eliminated, but he did get elimination, which I thought it was cool. We saw the Joker of the match, which was the 21st entrant, was Matt Seidel, and he came out and he immediately wanted to do the shooting star, but I don't know if it was probably the humidity, probably some sweat on the turnbuckle, but he slipped and just completely ate shit, and it was just like, just a rough landing. It was bad, I won't lie, I was laughing through it because I thought it was pretty funny. After I learned that he was okay. I don't think this is going to hurt him. We know what Matt Seidel can do, in the ring. So something like this, botch, it's an unfortunate stance for sure for somebody, maybe debuting. I don't know if he's with the company or not. They didn't say if he's all elite or not, but, just a weird way to debut, but he'll be fine. We saw Sonny Rose got an elimination to Jake Hager, so they'll probably play that down the line, which is really cool. One scary bump was, I believe it was Archer. he put he put Darby Allin and the body bag, ended up doing a power bomb outside of the ring, and Darby, I don't know if he clipped the stairs on the outside or something. It was a bad bump, and people came and got him and took him away. Just a lot of sloppy and dangerous, and I don't know the words you'll use, but a lot of those spots here tonight. Lance Archer ended up winning. He ended up eliminating. God, who did he eliminate? Eddie Kingston. God, I flip my mind. He ended up eliminating Eddie Kingston. I thought Eddie Kingston was going to win for a second. I was very looking much forward to Eddie Kingston versus John Moxley, but Archer, I feel like everyone thought it was going to either be him or Cage, and we've seen Cage have a title match, so I felt like it was Archer's time. He hasn't had a world title match, as I believe so. He hasn't had a world title match as of yet, so he ended up winning this. That was cool. Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. This one was weird. They ended up, being in the back. They were brawling in the back. They were on this platform, the little cherry picker, and then Sammy Guevara spears Matt Hardy off of the cherry picker, and they fall to the ground through a table. Matt Hardy, from the looks of it, he smacked his head on the back of the pavement. Now, why I say that is because I don't know necessarily if this was actually live or if it was taped. It was really hard to tell. It looked like he was knocked out for sure. Aubrey, she called the match off. Doc Sampson, he came out and is basically calling it off as well. For some reason, they restarted the match again. I don't know if it's AEW's, just being scared of not giving a finish to the fans. In a situation like this, we could understand. If we don't get a finish, we completely understand why. The dude is concussed. At least that's what it looked like. So I don't know if that was the case, is why they kept going. If it was true, again, I don't know if this was planned or not, but if it was true and he got concussed and whatnot, I just thought it was a bad look for sure. They had to do their last spot, which honestly, it was not necessary. They went to the stage and climbed up this little scaffold, and Sammy Guevara fell down into a bunch of boxes, and that was it. Again, I don't know, man. I don't think that was the right thing to do. If he's out, then he's out, and I know the stipulation was if he lost, then he would have to leave AEW. But you could, fans aren't stupid. They understand things. If it happens, it happens. It's not like, I hate bringing this up. I'm not even gonna bring it up. But if the fans are not dumb, if it happens, you have to, stop the match. You can just figure something out going forward. But either way, this was not good. Hopefully Matt Hardy's okay. They say he's in the hospital. I really hope he's okay. For me, the match of the night, Hikaru Shida versus Thunder Rosa. Straight up, this was just the best match of the night. This is one I was probably looking forward to the most. I really enjoyed Thunder Rosa in NWA. Hikaru Shida's been a great champion. She just doesn't really have that many challengers, especially with a lot of the AEW women stuck overseas. She's pretty much gone through everybody that's in the company now. So this was a really cool match. They went out there almost 20 minutes and had a back and forth match, and I thought it was really good. I would love to see Hikaru Shida end up winning. She retained her women's champion. I would love to see more of Thunder Rosa in AEW, and more of the girls from NWA, honestly, just to get some variety into the division. But again, I thought this was probably the best match of the night for sure. We had an 8-man tag, the Dark Order versus Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, QT Marshall, and Dustin Rhodes. I thought this was a fine match. This felt like, that opening Dynamite match for sure, which is not bad. I mean, the opening Dynamite match is normally always good. But that's what this felt like. This was a little bit more of storyline for me caring about it. And obviously with the Dark Order, you have Colt Cabana, who's just completely oblivious to what's going on around him. All he really cares about is winning. And we've seen that week after week. And in this match, he ends up losing. Dustin Rhodes ends up, giving him the cradle. And ends up winning the match. So we have Colt's first loss within the Dark Order, which is going to be interesting to see how that dynamic with himself and Brody Lee is going forward. Brody Lee, he's going to be defending the title against Dustin Rhodes on Dynamite this coming week. I'm interested in seeing that. Again, this was a, like I said, that 8-man tag that you'll see at the beginning of Dynamite. Not great, but not bad either. The world tag team title match, FTR versus Kenny Omega Hangman Page. For me, I definitely was interested in the match for sure, but I felt like you just need that crowd, man. You really need that hot crowd for this match, and I don't think they were there at all. FTR worked their style match. It was fine. Again, I thought this match was good, but it could have been a little bit better with a great crowd. They ended up winning. FTR ended up winning with the Gotch Pile Driver. I think they did 2 of them, and ended up winning the tag titles, which was expected. Kenny Omega and Hangman Page had a great tag ring, but we've kind of seen their beef and their bickering and their splitting going on, and it definitely kind of boiled over here. You had Hangman Page, who took the pin. He was trying to get up and basically just trying to lean himself onto Omega. Omega just kind of stepped out of the way and just let him fall. And then Omega just walked all the way out of the arena. It was really cool to see. He walked all the way. Again, he went through the heel entrance. He walked through the arena. He found the Bucks. He said, "Let's go." He walked straight to his car. He's basically like, you're going to make a choice right now. You're going to come with me, or he basically is going to be turning heel. So it's interesting to see where they're heading with the Elite. For me, that was the most important thing to come out of this match, is where are they going to go with the Elite? Where are they going to go with Hangman Page, FTR, everything that's going on? Where were they going to go with that? And that's what I was excited for. Good match. Like I said, I wish it was a little bit better. Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho, Mimosa Mayhem match. This was, I don't know if this was supposed to be comedy or supposed to be serious. The main thing I really cared about was just Orange Cassidy getting the win at the end, which is the thing that happened. His last match that he got the win, he had that wacky roll up. What did Taz call it? I forgot what he called it, but it was something wacky. Where they were they weren't on the same page for that roll up. But I thought this would be the makeup. I wanted to see Orange Cassidy go over. He ended up giving the orange punch, which is we used to call Superman punch, but it's the orange punch now. He gave the orange punch to Chris Jericho, and he fell through the pool of mimosa. Whatever. It was a hardcore match. That was whatever. And then the main event, MJF versus John Moxley. This was surprising. I didn't think this was going to be as good, especially with it being the last match of the show, the crowd just kind of being exhausted, myself being exhausted. This is a long show to go through. I thought this match delivered, and I thought it was a little bit better than what I expected. John Moxley ended up winning. The finish was really cool. Wardlow got on the ramp and tried to... he came up with an apron and tried to distract the refs that MJF could use the diamond ring, the diamond dozen ring. That didn't happen. I think Moxley ended up using, because it was banned, the paradigm shift was banned for this match. But because Wardlow was, because he was distracting the ref, Moxley just behind the ref's back hit the paradigm shift and ended up getting the win. He retains the championship. So MJF Wardlow, that beef is going to be, turned up a little bit. Interesting to see what happens with that. Overall, again, this show, I thought it was not great. It wasn't bad. I didn't hate spending the money on this, but I just, elements of the show, the crowd, the length, and then all the dangerous spots that we saw on here, it just made for a weird night. Also, JR said something super wrong about Anna Jay during that 8-man tag. He tried to make up for it on Twitter. I wouldn't be mad if they replace him with Morrow, but that's just me. But again, this was All Out. Their next pay-per-view is coming up in November. We'll see what they do with that. But, I'm still excited to see where they go for, especially, again, with the Elite. FTR, they're going to face the Bucks. Who's going to be the next challenger for Moxley is going to be Archer. I don't really see him winning the title, but, we'll see what happens with that. And, of course, we have Cody. Cody hasn't said anything since losing that title. Interested to see with that. But let me know what you think if you saw All Out. Did you like it or did you hate it? Just let me know what you think. Until then, it's Classic 8. Peace.